Welcome to Plug In, episode 21. I'm your host, Stephanie Myers, and today our guest is Paul Roberts from OC Talk Radio, and of course, I'm with Avi, our other host.
Yes. Well, Mr. Roberts, welcome. Good morning.
Such a space. How'd you paint the walls like this and everything? How'd you get everything on them?
Well, it's all the magic. We are in Disney here, Magic Land.
It's an optical illusion.
Yeah. So, Mr. Paul Roberts.
Rob. You call me Rob. I'm the Rob man.
Yes. We are going to talk today. Do you have anything with fashion or stories on? I know you were
Just
out.
a lot of controversial stories this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
should we get to it?
yeah, get it. Let's.
Okay,
let's
I'm
go.
sure we all know, this past weekend, University of Oklahoma SAE chapter, the Sigma Alpha Epsilon chapter, got kicked off campus because of a racist chant, which started trending on Reddit.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean,
We are in the 21st century, and we're still going around with the racist chant and filming it. And then the mother in the place, she had.
She had a Vine. There was a Vine that was circulating that was back from 2013, and she was just saying, the racial slur repeatedly, and it was just, and this is, I mean, it was pretty ridiculous. You would think that she'd have more class than that.
All these years later. Hard to believe that we haven't advanced any more than that. Why haven't we advanced any more than that? What's holding us back?
I think it's a human brain doesn't work that fast. It took the evolution 4 billion years to get us to walk and explore the world, and we are advancing so fast we can't let go of our hatred and our discrimination.
But can I give you an example where that's not true?
Yeah. Okay.
Can I disagree with you?
Yeah, sure. That's just
Of course, yes, we're all about conversation and discussion.
Ripped from the headlines, right here.
Yes.
Boy. I brought in some headlines today here. Ripped
from the headline.
Do you have a ripping sound?
Yeah.
Do they have a?
We can put one. Yeah.
Ripped
Just
from
go.
the headlines.
We'll do
ripped
our
from the
own
headlines.
sound effects.
All right.
The fastest change in American society is Supreme Court poised to settle gay marriage fight once and for all.
Okay.
How did gay marriage go from, as they say in here, 20 years ago, it was illegal to be gay.
Yes.
They threw you in jail if they caught you in a gay compromising position here.
Okay. So
and now
why?
all of a sudden it's legal. Why in 20 years have we advanced so fast where we
Because-
still can't lose the racial epithets 100 years later?
Okay,
Yeah, I
because
agree.
with gay, you can't tell if a person is gay or not
I don't
unless
know.
you go check. No, most of them, they live their life normal and they didn't go any, but you can see the black from white or the Spanish from white coming.
Right.
And that's one of the things. So first we
Are
discriminate.
you gay? Let's just get this.
I am both. No, sexuality, I think sexuality is not as important to us because it happens behind closed door, but racism, it's based on color, skin, based on the person walk. You can see it coming while the
Why do you think you're the voice of the millennials here?
Right,
Why have you guys embraced this and accepted this so quickly, so fast?
I think part of the thing is that my generation, everyone, says Generation Y. You guys always ask why questions.
Why?
You're very,
Why do you do
my
this,
generation is very outspoken, and I think some of that we speak our minds. I think some of it's part of like my generation, but also I think more and more, I think another thing is that more and more celebrities like Ellen DeGeneres, Matt Bomer, who was in The Normal Heart, which was a great film based on a play. But I think people are just becoming more vocal about it, and
how come
they're
they are
making a
not
stand.
vocal on racism?
Yeah, right.
I wish I could.
You don't know. See?
All right. So what's the answer, Mr. Roberts?
I think that I don't know either. I really don't. It's as they say, point out in this article in Time Magazine, and many people have said this is the fastest social change ever in the history of America.
Yeah.
African Americans were brought over here in bondage as slaves. People still view them in a different light than they do everybody else. Why? This seems to be ingrained in American history and American psyche. And yet, 20 years ago, I mean, it was...
Maybe gay people better campaigners. and they have more money to go to court and to go to the Supreme Court.
Somehow they've changed the image and the perception of that more rapidly than anybody else has changed. So fast that the politicians have been able to keep up with it. Obama came into office only 8 years ago saying, I don't believe that marriage is just for a man and a woman. And a couple of years later, it's like,
It's okay.
It's okay.
But you know what?
I didn't really believe that.
I read a story that racism, even especially with it's more so now after Obama became president than before. That's
Well,
what
yeah.
it's ticked up instead of down.
It was supposed to move us past racism, and instead it just sort of put it right in our face again here.
Okay, so what's the solution then?
The solution is...
I think as Morgan
I'm
Freeman
gonna pass that one along, like I know.
you pass it on to me. No,
Like I
but,
know the solution.
Morgan Freeman, in a sense, he makes a good point to stop. He says something to the fact of, stop talking about racism. But at the same time, on the other side of that coin, I feel like, you need to talk about it to,
To get it out and
to
put
get
it
it
on
out.
the table.
It doesn't matter if you're black or white or Latino or
Yep.
everyone needs to kind of vocalize
That's
about
been
that.
my problem though since the beginning. When you put two people in, when you separate us into two groups and you call one black and the other white, boy, it's hard to find much compromise there. I mean,
Yes.
it is black and white. It's
Yeah.
about as far apart as you can do.
Yes.
And I know it sounds, people hate political correctness and all that, but if you do refer to people as Irish Americans, African Americans, other sorts of things, it lessens that divide. But the minute I'm black and you're white, it's hard for us to find any common ground there. We're about as polarized as we can be there. And I think language does matter. I really do.
I agree. I see your point. I just think, I mean, I learned in school because I took a few
You learned it? She learned in school?
Right, yeah, what a surprise.
You're one of the few.
I know,
I don't think anybody did that anymore.
Referring to people as Caucasian or Irish Americans, like you said.
Right.
I feel like if someone has just a minor slip up, they're going to be attacked.
Well,
And
yeah.
so it's
We
just-
got to get
have
past
be
the
careful about
everybody jumping on you.
Okay, we just have to be careful about everything that we say, but
What did you say?
make sure that it's
What? What? How did you say that?
we have to make sure that
Oh,
we're
I was getting a
careful
little
about
upset with you
everything.
there. I wasn't sure you were saying something. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Go
no,
ahead.
I was like, wait, did I say something I wasn't supposed to? No,
Yeah.
no, I think that we just have to be really careful about what we say, but at the same time, you have to be politically correct. I mean, this whole thing at University of Oklahoma, I was just in shock. And
But
everyone was in
I
shock.
agree with the punishment. I agree there should be
agree.
even expelled because that's the only way you're going to teach people
Right.
that this is not acceptable.
And two students have been expelled. ABC News reported that this morning that two Sigma Alpha Epsilon students at the University of Oklahoma have been expelled, and they're investigating the situation.
It's been a long time since I've been in college, but isn't SAE one of those jock fraternities? Isn't that these
At my
guys?
school, it
Come
was.
on,
At my
come on.
yeah, it's a
So they're
pretty
just
well-known
trying to be
fraternity.
shocking and tough and rough and all
Yep.
this stuff, but they took it too far. That wasn't funny.
But you know what? Discrimination and racism is not only in college, even in the police departments. Look what happened
Right.
again in Wisconsin. The kid wasn't armed, and all of a sudden they used deadly force on him. I mean, you can probably hit him with a baton, tase him, but always with the bullet and 4 or 5 bullets for an unarmed kid.
I'm shocked, and I don't know how. Has this suddenly been a resurgence of this sort of fear in the police departments where they so overreact if they see a black man in the room?
Right.
Oh my God, I've got to come in with the heavy weapons here.
They are teaching them to be like an assault
Team,
with the equipment they gave them after 9/11 and
yeah.
all this for literally to chase after
And
kids.
how do people kill unarmed kids, black
Yeah.
or white,
Yeah.
and then go to court like Trayvon Martin and stuff and say,
Right,
I really
yeah.
felt like my life was in danger. I had a gun
Yeah.
and I had to use it because he was hitting me.
Yeah.
This little boy was hitting me, and I'm
Yeah.
a big guy, and so
Yeah.
I had to pull my gun out and shoot him.
Yeah.
And people go, yeah, that makes sense to
Well,
me.
because it's the gun stupid laws that we have that you have concealed carry and all this. And when you are like literally, if you get cornered, the first thing you do, you pull the gun. If you didn't have a gun, you run, or you take a rock and hit the rock.
I'd run.
Right. But if you have a gun, you're more likely to stand your ground and try to act as you are.
I thought the most touching statement was when Obama spoke about this years ago, and he said, you really don't understand unless you are
Been
black.
there.
I hate to say black again
Yeah.
here, but if you're an African American, if you're black, like all this is back here, And you know what it's
I
like
believe
to
it.
walk into a room and people immediately lock their doors.
Yeah.
Just because you
Yeah.
walk down the
Fast.
street. And I'm sorry to say, I probably was raised like that. So if I was in a certain neighborhood and I saw people that didn't look like me coming at me, I'd be more scared than if I saw a bunch of Irish hooligans coming at me here.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
Irish.
I lived
No, I
I lived
believe
in
that.
New York, and you will be lucky if you are black and to pick up a taxi cab after 6
Yeah.
o'clock or 7
Yeah,
o'clock at
right.
night. They will see you standing and hailing the cab, and they will pass on a white or in women down the street. They will stop, and you're sitting there. What happened?
Yeah,
Am I
right.
invisible or what?
So it is real. It still carries on.
Oh,
I don't know why
definitely.
we're ingrained in race and we've somehow given up the fight about sexuality, and all of a sudden we've suddenly embraced it and accepted it in a rapid turnaround, most rapid turnaround ever.
I guess politics, or I don't know, paying for it. Figuring out how to do it and put it in front of the Supreme Court to pass it. But I don't think you can legislate or put laws for people what they are doing behind their doors,
Well,
in
no,
their
I never
homes.
did. But when I went to law school, I went to law school in Virginia. Virginia. I had to say Virginia. And when I went to school in Virginia,
Yeah.
they at that time in the 70s, it was illegal for a black man and a white woman to marry.
Yeah.
One, and it was also illegal for two people of the same sex to engage in any sort of.
Well, Arnett
sex
tells
act.
me in Indiana at one time on the deed was that this property cannot be sold to color or black people.
Right.
On the deed.
Wow.
So, and that's not too long ago, like in the 50s?
Have you read A Raisin in the Sun?
No?
It's a
Famous
book.
movie, and I mean,
Yes, exactly. I believe it's in a play form where that's what it was about. How a black family, they wanted to move in this white dominant neighborhood, and then they were. I forgot whether they actually moved in, but at the last
During the
minute,
break, we're going to go find all that out.
yes.
All right.
Oh yes. I'm so caught up.
So, our time is like slipping 1, 2, 3, but we should be back with the second episode.
We're gonna do more of this.
More, yeah. We're going to discuss and see maybe we can find the solution and send it to Obama and Congress and get it passed and have the harmony and peace between us.
Welcome back to Plug-In. I'm your host, Stephanie Myers, and once again, we are here with Paul Roberts from OC Talk Radio and Avi, our other host.
Yes.
And we were just discussing this.
I like the way you do that. Paul Robertson, our other host.
Our other host, Avi, yes.
Yeah, he's just not important. No. If I figured he could reintroduce
It's okay.
himself.
I can
so.
take it. Yeah, we were talking about the race and race
Yeah.
issues in the U.S. and all the problems that we are seeing more of it now, or maybe it's more we are more aware of it now than just back few years back. So I don't know. Are we moving forward with all this race issues, or we are going backward with the cops shooting?
I thought we solved all these things in the 60s. I thought we solved the feminist movement. I thought we solved, we opened up gay rights. I thought we solved racism. And all of these things seem to have been percolating for 50, 60 years. And I'm sorry, since the Republicans have. I'm going to say that. But these things are all back on the table again.
Yes,
here. And we're relitigating all
women
these
issues.
things.
Yes.
I came to the country in 1974, and it was the birth control.
Did you sneak in illegally?
No, I came legally with a visa. With a visa.
I thought maybe you
I
came in over the
overstayed my
border.
visa. Yeah. So, but they were debating in Supreme Court about women issues and birth and abortion.
Roe v. Wade, 1970s.
We're in 2015. We're still debating the same issues.
Yes, we are. And a few years ago, I took a gender studies related class, and it was all. I was nervous taking this course because my professor first day she said, "I am a feminist. I will not." Hear the word guys come out of your mouth, because it was a discussion.
Wow.
So, you say that, oh, hey, hey guys,
Hey,
what's
guys.
up? Just conversational. And she would correct us every single time. She would mark us points off from participation. And this was a small discussion, probably about 20 students. But, it really opened up my eyes to a lot of the issues that still stand. But at the same time, I think it was this past Friday or Saturday. It was, or maybe it was Sunday. I'm not sure, but
maybe it was 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago.
Could have been anytime.
It was International Women's Day. Celebrating the lives of women. But it's like, if we're trying to get into that equal place of men and women are equal, why do we have this day specifically for women?
Are men and women equal?
Well, they are.
not.
They were supposed to be equal. We say they are, but I was even thinking that with all the laws and everything, we still have the spread in pay, even at equal work. We're not getting
I
it.
thought we solved all this 50 years ago.
Yes, that's what you think.
I thought it was all over with. Move on.
Yeah, look. You said the key word there with the R, start with the R. It's still, every week they bring it back to the Supreme Court to debate the same issues. I don't understand why we can't move forward and let it be.
The whole culture war seems to be, they feel like they lost in the 60s and they've been waiting to come back for 50 years and relitigate all these things. And now we're suddenly going back and changing the Voting Rights Act. We've eliminated the need for that. So we can go back and put racial barriers up to voting. We've still got people saying there's too many laws in place to protect people for this and that, take them all away. And
Arna pointed out yesterday, she said some country, I don't know, like in the Pacific, they have like something 80% of their Congress or their House, it's women. We don't have even 10% in our government in women.
Right.
And every time it's the same story. We had a couple ladies there, and the guys were hitting on them. Oh, you're cute, you're pretty, literally. And what are you doing here? It's not your place to.
And I got to give you an exception though. And on OC Talk Radio, we've talked about this a lot. For some reason, Orange County has a huge percentage of female government officials.
Okay.
Female elected.
Okay.
In both parties.
Yeah.
And nobody can figure out why. The county commissioners, the state senators, quite a number of mayors. In local government here in Orange County, why are there more women in elected positions than anywhere else in the country?
Higher education and more money, I guess.
Did you know that we have a higher percentage of women in elected offices in this county than we do anywhere else?
I did not know that. No, I was.
That's because I made it up. But, no.
Did you? No, you're just playing joke. Is he serious? Is he?
No, it is true. We have a very. I don't know how. I don't know how it compares to the rest of the country, but I do know that we have a much higher percentage of women in office than we do anywhere else here.
And feminism, of course, is such a prominent topic among talent and celebrities because they get mad when they're asked, "Oh, who are you wearing?" If it's an awards ceremony. But at the same time, if you don't want to be asked that, then wear something that's off the rack or from a regular store.
I'm wearing a very famous French designer, Jean-Claude Penet.
Oh, yes, I've heard of it. Very famous. And then they get offended when they're asked, who are you wearing? Because that's what they
But
ask.
it's more a show there and glitz and blitz.
Right.
Let me give you an example of something how we can't get past the conversation. I was an entertainment PR person 40 years ago, 30 years ago. It was the 80s, way back when. I handled all these people she wouldn't remember.
She wasn't born.
Johnny Mathis, Anthony Quinn, Jose. I handled all these people. One of them I handled was President Reagan's daughter, Maureen Reagan. Good friend, did a number of work with her for years. She ran for Congress twice and lost. And she was, by her own definition, a tough broad.
Yeah.
She was a big, imposing, and she was tough. And she said that characteristic in a man is appealing.
Yeah.
But still,
Right.
women even find aggressive, tough women to be unappealing. And
Okay.
she couldn't, and she was an avowed feminist. And we would run all these polls, and we'd ask women, do you believe in equal pay? Absolutely. Do you believe in equality under the law? Absolutely. So you're a feminist? Absolutely not. That word was so charged.
Yeah.
No woman would admit to being a feminist, even though they agreed to all the
To all
positions.
that, yeah.
Because
yeah.
it was, as you know, and I feel like it's still a subjective definition. People think that feminists, they just go around and they,
You're a lesbian.
yeah,
now.
you're a lesbian. And then some people say, no, my definition of feminism is that men and women should be treated equally.
Yeah.
So,
But again, language counts. So
Exactly.
you believe in the idea, but the terminology got charged. Just like there are no liberals left. Did you know there's no liberals left anywhere in the world? There's
Really?
progressives now.
Oh,
But
okay.
there's no liberals.
Okay.
Liberals.
Well, it's.
Interesting.
I guess it's changing the words. It's like
Changing the words
Yeah,
matters.
I think about global warming, and they changed some of the words. Instead of saying we have what's the exact word? It's not global warming. It's we have atmospheric
change.
Yeah,
climate
climate
change.
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 Yeah,
yes.
because it's not global warming. It's climate
It's just
change.
changing.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's getting warmer. It's just changing. I'll tell you one great example the Republicans did. The guy who's the pollster now on Fox News, Frank, whose name escapes me. Somebody will write in and tell us his name. But he was part of a group that they wanted to change the inheritance laws.
Yeah. Death tax.
Death tax.
Yes.
So it's no
Yes.
longer rich people
Oh,
trying
it's-
to pass on money to their children. That's inheritance.
Yeah,
Everybody
because when the Democrats were running and they wanted to change the inheritance tax, they started calling, they want to tax
they want
you.
to tax you even when you
they
die.
die.
How horrible! And
Yeah.
everybody said, "Well, I don't want to be taxed when I die."
Well, the same thing with Obamacare, with the death committee,
panels.
death panels, yeah. That they will decide if you are going to get medicine or you're going to die.
And that's why the homosexual movement has succeeded, because they changed the name. It's gay. It's happy. Gay used to be, I love watching these old movies, the gay 90s or gay Paris or whatever, and now we laugh because that word has a whole different meaning now. But they consciously adopted a different word to describe their... No, I got to
Whatever.
come up with the other whatever. I don't want to call it.
There's
They're
even a
gross.
Christmas song that says, and I forgot which one. It's the happiest time of the year, or the most wonderful time of the year. It's gay and jolly, something like
Lots
that.
of gay was real common in music and whatever, and so the homosexual movement said we're going to stop thinking of ourselves as homosexual, and we're going to start thinking of ourselves as gay and happy, and that changed everything.
But in New York, they were, in the major cities and big cities, they were almost there. They had the power, they had the momentum going, and then it didn't take much to break the walls in other cities.
So why don't we
small.
come up with the different terms for black and white?
You said
African Americans should be the happy people.
it. Okay.
And the,
Okay,
and the
and,
white people are the old angry.
Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I think again we go back to it. Black and white. It's you see it coming. You see the black person. You see the white person. It's there. Gay. It can be you. I mean, literally. I worked with people for almost 5 years. I didn't know until they told me they are gay. But if you are working
Everybody
with
in this
black
room
and
is
white,
gay, except
yeah.
you.
No, maybe me too. So, but the issue is. The issue is that we perceive it different, we look at it different, and the first 30 seconds we
So
kind of
visual. It's the visual.
I think
Yeah.
I think you make a great point about the music industry, because even when you turn on, the radio station nowadays, even when you nowadays, even when you turn on the radio station, though, some of the radio stations that have really popular hip hop or pop music, some of those rappers on there, they just throw down, the N-bomb.
not as much.
No,
Back
they still do.
in the 90s, it
They
was a
still
big
do.
issue.
But I mean, it's just, how are we ever gonna get, past
Past
this?
this.
Yes, if they're
So if they're doing it and
they're,
making money out
right.
of it, and they can say it, but I don't know. I don't know what's the answer going to
From
be.
now on, we're not black and white. We're happy and unhappy people.
Okay.
We're
I like
silly
that.
and unsilly people. The silly and people. Oh, you got a phone call? Someone's calling in?
No. I don't know. No,
Somebody's
nobody
got funny
called.
making a face.
No.
Is
just
there a
the
number
three
they
of-
can call in? We don't want to call.
No, no calling. So anyway, but the other issue is Apple. Apple released their new watch, and guess what? They start at 350, 550, and 10,000 to 17,000.
my
Who
gosh.
cares? Why do we care what they?
I
come out
don't
with?
know, but they made a big issue. It was on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox.
And why does
CNN.
anybody want to have a watch? You have a watch. I don't wear a watch. She doesn't have a watch
Yeah,
on.
and CEO
This
Tim
is your
Cook
watch.
says
That's
we
your
do
watch.
not partner with the CIA. We are not going to try. I mean, I don't know.
What?
What? Yeah, he said something to the effect of he
It's a way of
released a
tracking
statement.
people or something.
Well,
because
it
some people were
tracks your
worried about
walking.
that.
It has a GPS to track you on how many
It's
miles you
essentially
This is
a
walk.
phone
all
on your
part of Big
hand.
Brother.
Your
Yeah.
heartbeat and what have you, and all the good stuff. But they said most of this information, if you are sending it to your doctor or what have you, it can be compromised and can be taken. An insurance company can
Yes.
use it,
Yes,
and what
the government will know where you're
know,
walking.
like, yeah,
30
my-
seconds. We only have 30 seconds left. You know.
Yes, I know. So
I know my mom wants to get one. My brother wants to get one. I'm like, I'm
Well,
not going
that's
to
what
shell
make-
out that money. I know. I agree. I do have a watch, but I haven't
Freaking
replaced the
watch.
battery.
that's
in
what
who knows
makes
how
Apple
long.
the biggest, richest company on the planet. It's not
Yes.
by accident. Anyway, we are coming to the close of our discussion. This
10
can go
seconds, you
on
got it.
forever and ever and ever because there is no end for it. So go ahead,
Yes.
close
Thank
us
you
up.
so much for joining us today. We will see you next time. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. He's from OC Talk Radio.